Good afternoon, YouTube. Wanted to go over something about how to carry extra ammunition for your revolver. Now, most of us, if you see how you carry extra ammunition for a revolver, something like one of these little HKS speedloaders. Been around for a long time. Used to actually have one of these that was metal. It was a salesman special, but these been around forever. This is one way, very most common way actually. But there are other ways. Now, back before those came out, there was lots of different ways to carry extra rounds for your revolver. Really good. This goes back to the days of the Old West, but they're still practical today. This is a cartridge slide, and of course these work just as well for rifles and everything else. But they're great for revolvers. One, this will hold 12 rounds, and if you're not in an overly huge hurry, those will work. This one, I've had this a long time. This one is made by a company called JP, and you can see it's holding 12 rounds. Very nice. I've worn this a lot. You can actually see the curvature from where I've had it worn. Had this a long time, and goes good with a nice single action revolver like the Ruger there. Then there's these. These are known as cartridge dumps. Load them on the top, open the bottom, and simply out comes your rounds. Just like that. I have 357s in here right now. It works a lot better with 38s because there is a metal liner in these. That kind of helps keep it shaped. That's also made by JP. This one here, this is an old Bianchi. I've had this a long time. I get these very cheap. These cost upwards of $10 brand new. I have not paid more than $5 for one of these. Not once. I get them all the time at gun shops and at gun shows. Most of the time they can't get rid of them. And they're practical and they work. There's a lot of history behind those cartridge slides. They've been around for a long time, since the days of the Old West. They still work, especially for a gun like this. Single action revolver Ruger. If you're carrying one of these don't work for them. You can't get them. There is a company out making them now. They look like a star shape, and you load them from those. I haven't tried them yet. I haven't even seen one in person. I've seen pictures of them online. They don't really impress me. I like having the cartridge slides. I tend to carry 5 or 6 extra rounds in my pocket to load the gun with, and carry another dozen on the slide. It takes up really no additional weight. They don't get in the way. They're either on the opposite side of the holster or behind me in the back, and I can carry 12 rounds. It gives me 12 rounds on the slide, 5 in the gun, because that's an older Ruger, so I do carry, I carry the hammer down empty chamber because it doesn't have the transfer bar safety. I've had other guns, the newer ones, 6 rounds, 12, so I have 18 rounds. It's not a lot, it's not a huge amount. But if you're just hiking or backpacking, you know, especially where I am, I go out, just bomb around here behind the house, I've got enough, you know, at least for a little while. If I was going long term, I would carry the slide, what was in the gun, and an extra box of 50 as well. But that's if I was going somewhere where I know it's going to be out for a while. But again, these are alternatives to what you see out there now. I'd have no problem carrying a few extra rounds for this little Smith & Wesson 649, same way. You know, carry, you know, another 12 or so. Maybe an additional one of these. These don't take up a lot of room. I just tend to throw these in a BDU style pocket. I don't bother with the pouches anymore because they're very expensive, and some are really good, some are really not. This is faster, just reaching into a pocket. I've tried it both ways. But this is what it is. Go out and get yourself a few of these things. I've had these for years. I've got actually 2 or 3 more. I keep one in a bag with some of my other gear. That one's got, it's not as nice as these, but again, I got it for like $5, brand new. It's still in the package. And I've had them ever since. I've got a bunch of them. I've got some for rifles. I've got some for the revolvers. Go get them. They're cheap. They're usually, you know, not more than $10. I've never seen one more than $10. I wouldn't spend more than 10 on one. You don't need to buy them new. These two, the Bianchi, I don't know how old that is. I'm not sure how old the JP is. I know it's old. I do know this is from the 60s and the 70s, back when they used to use those. I know that's got to be at least 35 years old. They work. So go out and get yourself a few of these. Put some ammo in them. Carry them when you go out with your gun. Save yourself some expense of having a bunch of rounds just rattling around in your pocket. Or the having to buy 2 or 3 of these things. Because, you know, you're talking 30, 40 bucks by the time you get done with those in a pouch. So go get yourself a few of these things. Keep them around. Keep them handy. Keep them in your safe. Every once in a while, take the rounds out of them. Put some different ammo in them, and so that the you don't get the leather leaching onto the brass. I've never had a problem with the nickel shells. The other ones you have to kind of keep an eye on. But go get them. Go find some. They're out there. They're cheap. You know, keep your powder dry as always, and have a good day, boys.